Zoom.
Rich Stoner.
Rich Donor?
Yeah, he's the fifth.
Oh. Where is he today?
He's driving to Vermont to see his brother.
Ooh.
Wow, that's a long drive.
Yes, it is. He's going to see his brother
Oh.
and do leaf peeping. They don't go and see leaves change. They do leaf peeping in New England.
Mm.
Who knew?
What does leaf peeping means?
That means when the leaves change color, they drive around to look at the change of the fall, you know, see the beautiful trees. Peeping is just merely looking. I don't know why they call it that, but that's a New England thing.
My brother did that this morning. He's in Massachusetts. And he said
Yeah.
that he wants to do that. But he doesn't use that to look the trees. I said, come to Ohio, you're going to see it. Yeah.
Actually, Ohio has better leaf viewing because we have more variety of trees than New England.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, thank you for sharing.
Now you can tell them, hey, come to Ohio if you want to see trees.
Come here.
You don't get
Only
many
13 hours.
colors.
13 hours only.
Yeah, yeah.
This discussion together. First,
Is Khenpo, you seem low to me. I don't know how everybody else finds your voice, but it seems low to me.
It's quiet on my end too.
my voice very quiet.
Yes. Turn up your volume.
I did this like.
That's better.
How is it? That's okay?
That's better.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. I can hear you.
Very low volume I put. Okay, so now it's the highest.
That's better.
That's the same thing, nothing changed.
You came closer to the mic, I think.
Our perception has changed because you're louder.
Okay, so perception changed. That's it. So we go to the alertness. Everything is a perception. So verses 7. Senda keeper, please read verses 7.
Okay. Who intentionally created all the weapons for those in hell? Who created the burning iron ground? From where did all the women in hell ensure?
Okay, can you explain?
Well, it's basically that no one created the hell realm besides for our own mind. It's our own perception. It doesn't physically exist anywhere. And so it's there. You talked about like the people that are tortured in hell are tortured in hell by the people they maybe hurt during their lifetime, or the concept that, you know, they're being punished in the hell realm because of what they did while they were alive. So it's something we create with our own karma.
Yes. Then anyone has any questions there?
I think he's also saying, be nice to women, don't be mean to them.
I'm in favor of that.
First, the people read this from where did all the women in here issues. So then the thing is, why is Deva? He said, don't make hard for women. So that's I agree for Marilyn. Are you agreed?
Yeah, I think so.
So actually, that's words is you know, dependent. You know, where is culture and dependent individual situations. So some like culturally there no equal, you know, equal right. Women maybe some pushed down and there maybe more get torture, more kind of like abuse. and people just forcing. So that's why Shantideva say if that karma is comes in the hell realms.
I just looked up the word ensure. I think it's a typo. It probably should be issue. ISSUE.
It sure is the followed by the root text is come from. Where is it come from?
It's just the wrong.
The word should be ensue, E-N-S-U-E.
Yes.
That means where it comes from, ensue, not ensure.
I like that better.
So then this spelling is incorrect or?
It's like a
Yes,
typo.
the R shouldn't be there.
Mm.
So then the word ensue means where it came from.
Mm.
So, you know, so where did all the women come from is what the sentence implies.
Mm. Okay, so no, next then. Maryland, okay, Maryland, please, 8, number 8.
The Mighty One has said that all such things are the workings of an evil mind. Hence, within the 3 world spheres, there is nothing to fear other than my mind. So all 6 realms come from our mind. And so we need to be careful and keep positive and watch our mind so that we don't create that for ourselves.
Mm. Yes. Okay, so anyone has some comments, questions? Everyone okay? One way is this.
Trying to figure out where we are. Can you tell me where we are again, Khenpo? Sorry.
Which one?
Can you tell me where we are again?
Starting alertless, I just read number 8.
Under which chapter?
Chapter 5.
Chapter. Okay.
Alertness. Chapter 5. So the Buddha said, just main point, all these 6 realms come from mind, especially these lower realms come from negative mind and evil mind. So then, of course, all the heavens, nirvana also come from mind. So depending which one is you create, yeah? Create positive and nirvana, create negative is samsara. Okay, so that's easy, yeah, easy or so some teachings like say like the hair realms, hungry gods, they talk about the different realms. That is like for more beginners. And this is Mahayana teaching is the highest level, more practitioners. That everything's bring into the mind. Change the mind, then change all these situations. Okay, so every time looks like everyone okay. So now it's 9, verses 9. Mary, please.
If the perfection of generosity were the alleviation of the world's poverty, then since beings are still starving now, in what manner did the previous Buddhas perfect it? You want me to do 10 too, since they go together?
Just explain 9, please.
Okay, all right. It's a question. It says, if Buddha perfected generosity, why are people still starving? What in the world did he perfect? And he perfected his mind so that he is not attached to anything and can give anything to anyone. He is free from the attachment. It's he's not, you don't pursue the object of each individual person who is in need. You free your mind from your own attachment, then you can give them anything they need anytime they want.
That's good. Okay, so then Thomas go to following the 10th.
I just wanted to add one thing, that this of him talking about the paramitas, I think it goes through verse 6 through 17, that he goes through generosity, dedication, meditation, and the 6 paramitas. Is that correct, Khenpo?
Yeah. Okay, then David, go ahead and 10.
Oh no, go ahead, Thomas.
You got it.
Next one, David, go. This is 10.
Do you want me to go, Khenpo, or is it Debbie?
David.
Jeez, I won't say anything again. Thomas. Okay. So 10, as Mary said, the perfection of a generosity is said to be the thought to give all beings everything, together with the fruit of such a thought. Hence, it is simply a state of mind. So I think, as Mary said, 10 is just a continuation of that giving up without attachment. It's a state of mind and not following the object. So if we follow the 6 paramitas, and then we'll have joy and we'll be happy, and we'll be free from attachment. So
then what is the main subject of that one?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Main subject is what I'm talking about. What is it talking about?
In number 10?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What is it? Shantideva talking about the main point there.
In 10?
Yeah.
In number 10?
Yeah.
Well, again, we can't follow an object with generosity. We can never give beings everything. It's impossible to be able to meet, to be generous enough to give all beings everything. So we can't follow the object. We have to just train our mind. And that's where the generosity comes from.
So generosity, where does it come from, generosity?
It's a state of mind.
So then my whole can give it to others.
We're not following the object. We're not giving to others. We're training our mind.
So whole can without object.
I'm sorry?
Without giving object, how can training the mind?
Oh, we won't have attachment.
Mm.
We won't have attachment.
We won't have attachment. So first we have to giving, then become no attachment, right? Yes.
No, I don't think he's, I know, I don't think that we're giving anything, because the point of it was that we could never really satisfy beings. We could never really give objects. We just aren't following an object. We could never give beings everything.
So we cannot satisfy make every beings, but generosity means giving, right? Giving.
Mm-hmm.
So you can make satisfy all the beings.
No.
So you can give, right? Giving.
We could give, yeah, without attachment.
Okay. So anyone has questions there?
I wrote down, if you give up everything, that's the perfection of generosity. So
yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
What is the fruit of such a thought? Is that bodhicitta?
What is?
Because it says the thought to give all beings everything. So that's the thought, okay? To give all beings everything. And the fruit of such a thought. Which is the fruit of such a thought? Which is it? Is it bodhicitta or just any action that is giving?
Wouldn't that be the perfection of generosity, the fruit of having the thought?
Sounds like an attitude that you cultivate. Doesn't like, hence it is simply a state of mind, like an attitude that you cultivate. Maybe it's not possible, but if you cultivate that attitude, maybe.
Yeah, cultivate attitude means like cultivate mind, right? Mind generating.
I looked at it as dedicating all of the merit you gain from practice is the true generosity. Studying the Dharma, practicing, and dedicating that to people. That's the fruits of your practice. That's the way I looked at it.
So you using the different translator?
No, it's stuff I wrote down as we were going through it and what popped into my mind.
Can you say again?
It's giving up the fruits of your practice and any development or merit you gained, dedicating that to others. So, many of the sadhanas we.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's what I thought we were saying here.
Now, Khenpo, weren't you saying that we should give when we give, the mindset we should have is with joy, with happily, and to give with a pure mind?
Yeah, pure mind, yes.
Yeah, going back to your point, Khenpo, so with this verse was the main, was I understanding that the main part of this verse was really in our mind creating the wish to help relieve the suffering of others through generosity. So if you saw poverty in your mind, you created that wish to help those beings. And then through that, generating that in your mind, you create those habitual patterns. And so you don't necessarily need to actually give, but it was the act of wishing to relieve the suffering of that being, if you see poverty, if you see those things.
Not exactly like that way. So
Because
Buddha because he practices generosity, he did practice like giving material object to others.
Okay.
He benefited them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then he used to that, he become no any attached to his body, speech, mind, whatever he holding is nothing any attached. It's because his mind is purely generosity. No any expectation. So that has become his perfection of generosity. And if you follow the object, Shantideva said, then still have people need things. People are poverty. Those like all these Buddhas, no, if you follow the object, it become no perfection yet. Because it still brings poverty. But actually, the main point is generosity is come from mind, means the mind is pure. Buddha's mind is pure generosity, is already perfections. They don't have attachment, anything. Yeah.
Because when it says here, together with the fruit of such a thought, hence it is simply a state of mind. It kind of goes back to what Marilyn was saying, that the actual thought, that wish to be able to give someone something, even if you don't have it.
And generosity, practice, the result is not the object. The result comes from mind.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Result cannot comes object. If result comes object, then no need, cannot have any properties. The result comes mind. Buddha's already free from attachment. Mind is pure. And they can give everything, whatever they has. No any attachment, no expectation, no agendas. Yeah. So then that is like happy to giving, you know, that is like become called generosity, perfection. So,
I think I'm confused now, though. Are we actually giving an object and without attachment, with pure view? Are we giving a wish for that being?
That's I recognize you. Yeah, we don't need to give. You said that. That's why I ask you questions. You know.
Oh, okay.
Giving, of course, like have the generosity means giving. So then Buddha's giving result is come from mind, not come from object. If the result is comes from object, then must finish all the poverty. Right? Results come from mind, then that's why the Buddhas become giving, and then no attachment become. Result is they are free from attachment, free from expectation, and free from agenda or giving something. You know, the minds become perfection means like 100% they can give up everything is giving for benefit others. So that is called the perfection of generosity. The Shantideva says, where is perfection, generosity? It's come from mind.
Right, it's the wish. So it doesn't, you don't have to give anything. You just could even think it.
So first, like see, they have to give, right? Otherwise, like you're only wishing, never giving. So how can it like become perfection? So the giving and we have two aspirations, bodhicitta, like aspiration, bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta. Does that, and the result is perfection of generosity. Perfection, generosity, result is like comes Buddha's mind, not the object.
But with this verse, is it talking, it seems like it's more talking about the second one that you're mentioning, that it's just the thought. This is more the wish, this verse. Just talking about this verse is coming from mind, not the actual giving of an object. Is that correct?
I think it's coming from an absolute bodhicitta. I think he's talking about bodhisattva way of life. So it's all about the bodhisattva and how the bodhisattva applies generosity. So, I mean, Khenpo, so this generosity is not the one that is going to cure the world from its poverty. This generosity only applies to help sentient beings become Buddhas. Is that correct? It has nothing to do with worldly material things. It has more to do with bringing people into the Dharma, so you are generous with Dharma, and then it's mainly about bringing people to the path and help them become enlightened. Is that what it is?
Generosity is like, of course, the follow the material object things, you know, whatever you're giving, right? Giving means generosity, many different kind.
Yeah, yeah.
So the perfection of generosity, when you are become perfection of generosity, when is the result comes?
When you're giving, whatever you're giving without attachment, that is when it becomes perfection and generosity. You're not attached to the action of giving. You're not attached to the result, I assume. You're not attached at all to
You are
the
not,
action.
your mind is free from all this
Free.
attachment.
Yeah. Okay.
So then that's
So,
of generosity.
okay.
That's a come from mind, right? Not come from object.
Yes, yes, no, that is clear. But the goal of this type of generosity is not really to alleviate the poverty of that person. It's mainly showing her the way not to be attached to that poverty and continue on the path, if that is feasible to do. If you can do that, it's not about giving somebody something to eat because they're hungry and alleviate that problem. It's mainly with that act that is not, there's no attachment to it. You're trying to show that person how to learn to become liberated from worldly things. I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm getting a little complicated here.
One thing I think is interesting is that Shantideva and Buddha Shakyamuni were both princes. They walked away from kingdom. They grew up having everything they could possibly want, and they grew up being told that this was theirs, that they would inherit it. They both walked away. And so in their, in their lives, they had almost nothing because they walked away from kingdoms. And it is like, I'm still trying to unpack, like generosity, giving away your kingdom is minor generosity. They dedicated their lives to, this profound generosity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so
can I say one more thing about
also, yeah.
I mean, I was thinking about something very similar to Debbie, that the story of the Buddha when he gave his body to the tigress, I mean, to me, that's like the perfection of generosity, being so unattached you'd give your body or life, it's even, well, and I would think that giving food to someone to help them matters, like it matters to that person if they're hungry, but you're not getting rid of hunger all over the world. Like maybe that's the thing that you can't do. It's too big a problem, but maybe you can, help the people you can help, the people who are right there that you can do something for.
Okay, so yeah, it's two Debes, Sandra, and all yours just very similar idea. It's the same thinking, and also raw. So then
Another translation here, but I don't know.
this I think translation is also like kind of complicated here. It's the very simple. Just actually this is very simple. Think about this practice passion. Practice passion. You subdued all the enemies or subdued our anger, which is the practice passion.
Or anger.
Anger, right? Subdued anger. Where is anger subdued? Your mind.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. So then same like that, generosity. Also, object is endless, never can finish. You wanted to become perfection generosity. I say, I'm going to create a perfection generosity. I want to make everyone has no hunger, no poverty. Giving never happen like that, right? Not possible. So if you follow the object never end, then these Buddhas, what they're giving, actually they're giving because it's like us. They have aspiring bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta. They did act giving, but then result is the mind is become free from attachment. So that is called perfection of generosity. The mind is become free from attachment when the giving things. Then result is like giving generosity. Result is come to their mind is free from desire. Then their mind is like they can anything can give for other beings. So that's why the thoughts to give all beings everything that comes is their own mind. Then that time is called the perfection of generosity. When that the thought to giving all beings everything, when that arises in the mind, then you are called perfection generosity practice you have. Even you know finish the poverty other people.
So you have to actually do the physical giving to implant it in your mind. Is that what you're saying?
So of course we're giving, right? Otherwise this never happen like this kind of a mind like practice is without giving, not used to, no practice, and not possible to result is happening. This is talking about the generosity result. The you giving, of course, helping for other beings, then that slowly your perfection generosity is like come from thoughts, your intention, mind. It's purely no attachment, no regret. You can give up whatever what you have, and also it's that's generosity is like perfection is come from your own mind.
It's more than a wish, it's the ability to also do it, correct?
Yeah, yes.
Okay. It's not just a wish.
It means like you think, oh, only wish, and not only that case. Only wish means like then we think, oh, we don't have to do anything. That's also misunderstand. Yeah. So wish also good, but we need action too. The action also have many different levels. You giving generosity, that means not perfection generosity. So then you Bodhisattvas giving up everything. The mentally they're giving up everything. They can have everything for other beings for giving. So then when that comes in the mind, that time is called perfection of generosity.
So Khenpo, it's basically there's no object being given, there's no one receiving the object, and there's no one giving the object.
Yeah, that's
Is
the
it?
absolute truth of Bodhisattva. But there's a relative level where bodhicitta successful. When is generosity successful? So you do something, we say, okay, when is successful? When is a result? The results come from object or results come from your mind? What are you going to say?
The object. Or from the mind.
Okay, results come from mind, right? Subject.
Yes, the subject.
So which kind of come from mind? Which kind of results come from mind?
What kind of result comes from your mind?
Which kind of, like you say it's come from mind, which kind of mind is change? What is come from mind?
It's the I guess the act or that. I guess it's the thought of the giving of the object.
Yeah, thoughts giving like for others, right?
Yes.
So whatever you can see the thoughts to giving all beings everything, that is comes from mind.
Mm-hmm.
So when that comes from your mind, that is like your success for your generosity goal is successful.
Thank you. Thank you.
So then some people say, okay, successful goal is successful is okay, finish this poverty, follow the object. Then Shantideva said, not possible. If you follow the object like that way, all these Buddhas never success for the generosity because still being poverty. So you bring into your mind like when is the your generosity is successful means thoughts to give all beings everything. When that arises in your mind, then that time your generosity is successful. So you have a perfection of generosity. Okay, so that's good. No, Thomas.
So go back, that could be the wish too, because Mary said it's not a wish, but that could be the wish to give everybody everything, you know. So that's right. Is that correct?
Okay, so we have the aspiration bodhicitta, engaging bodhicitta, right? So if you don't do engaging, this wish is a completion wish. So think about it. Okay, David, do you understand what I mean?
Thank you. Yes, now I understand.
Cause wish and result wish, I think. This is a result. Okay, Thomas, please. 11.
Yes. Nowhere has the killing of fish and other creatures been eradicated. For the attainment of merely the thoughts of forsake such things is explained as the perfection of moral discipline. Again, morality is from our mind. We cannot stop all things from being harmed. And as long as there's some sorrow, there's constant suffering. And only your mind can create this morality through pure mind and from benefiting others.
Okay. So now you understand what means like perfection of morality, yeah? So the perfection, this 6 parameters is like beginners follow the 6 parameters. This practitioner Mahayana, follow the parameter is a little bit different. Mahayana, everything is bring to the mind. The beginners, everything is put in the object. So difference is the beginners, of course, like parameter, especially this morality is okay. You don't care these beings. Stop killing. Stop harming. So Mahayana here is like always comes to mind and wanted to really benefit for other beings. That comes when your intentions arise in your mind. You have perfect morality. So that's why the thought to forsake such things, it is explained as the perfection of a moral discipline. And I don't want to harm any other beings. That kind of like comes from your mind, wanted to benefit others. That is the morality. Okay, so then 12 is roar, please. Roar Alguta.
Angita.
Angita.
Yes. Unruly beings are as unlimited as space. They cannot possibly all be overcome. For anger alone, this will be equivalent to vanquishing all foes. Yeah. So, I was not here in the morning, but what I'm understanding right now is that this is all about changing your mind only. And if we can succeed in that, then doing that. If we can succeed in changing our minds through purifying, having pure thoughts about the paramitas and practicing the paramitas, then we are on our way to become enlightened. Mm. So this is the same thing. The thought that comes from the mind that overcomes anger and thinks about exactly that, overcoming anger and then you will vanquish all the beings that can harm you.
So this is what is practice like? Which practicing?
Patience.
Okay. So you cannot subdue all these other beings' enemies, yeah?
Yeah.
So then you subdued for what?
Well, you subdue your anger.
Okay.
You're not attached to anger anymore, and then you can practice equanimity, and you can benefit all the other beings through practicing the paramitas, and your generosity and your moral discipline and so on will be applied to all sentient beings in all realms.
Okay, so subdue the anger, then subdue all the same is all the enemies, yeah? Okay, so no, anyone has any comments?
Yeah, what I got out of that was working on your own faults is much more powerful than trying to subdue others. So working on yourself is more powerful than trying to remove anger from everyone.
Yeah, subdue our anger, so that's it.
It's more powerful, right?
Yeah, subdue our own anger. So that's more powerful than subdue all the other enemies.
I think you said this morning, if you can't control your own mind, then you can't control your speech, and then you can't control your body. So basically, because you still feel it. I mean, truly achieving it is you don't feel the anger at that person, right? Who's being angry toward you or whatever.
So who's anger toward to you? What happened?
So someone's angry at you, but you don't give them an angry reply. You just, you might feel a little angry or attacked or whatever, but you don't necessarily attack them back. You don't react to their anger with anger.
Yes. So you control speech, you
control your speech.
Yes.
That's a part of being there, but you still feel the anger. When you're truly bodhicitta, you don't even feel the anger.
Bodhicitta, I think it's a compassion to the enemies, not comes anger to them.
Right. So you don't feel the anger anymore.
I think so.
Somebody comes and yells at you, you're like, oh, you poor thing. Why are you yelling at me? Right? I don't know. Yeah. Okay.
They also have a compassion to the enemies because I think Shantideva talk more about the part of patience. Patience is more detail coming.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. So now next is David.
Khenpo, me?
Yes.
Okay. Where would I possible find enough leather which would to cover the surface of the earth? But wearing leather just on the soles of my shoes is equivalent to cover the health we eat. The understanding is that you cannot solve all the problems in the world. Things going to affect you, but you can control your mind. You control your emotions. You have that alertness. then it's equivalent that these external things doesn't going to affect you, and you will be fine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a very famous quote that you find in Google and everything. That one.
Yeah, yeah. It's very famous quote. Yes.
Yeah, very famous. Yeah. Work with yourself, not with the others.
Yeah.
Control
This
yourself.
the laws the teachers share this quote everything.
Yeah. Very deep wisdom.
Yes.
Very difficult to apply. Very difficult to apply.
So easy to know this one, right?
Easy to read it, easy to think about that, but putting action, that's the challenge. Especially when a lot of things is happening to you. You want to cover everything outside, but really it's you. It's your view. How do you preserve things?
Yes.
If you change that, you change everything. That's it. Thank you,
So
Kevin. Ah,
everyone like this one, right? This word is everyone like, I think. That's why it's become famous.
very powerful.
Yeah.
You can be your whole life trying to do that in some way.
Okay. Anyone has any comments or wanted to share, or everyone happy? Who use this method when you have a difficulty? Anyone has mindful awareness use this method, thinking these words? Do you have the EDG? Do you have?
I don't have anything that rapidly comes to mind.
How about Marilyn? Do you have any? When you use this code to release object problem?
I don't use the quote, but I'm pretty conscious when I see anger arise, and I try and let it go because I know destructive it is for me, actually. So I don't get angry very much anymore.
So, okay, so then Thomas, do you use this code for your practice?
Well, it's I try to apply some of this. I mean, there's a quote. Actually, it's a Korean proverb. It says, don't blame others, but blame yourself, even though you ask someone to do something and they don't do it correctly. So it's, you always take it upon yourself that if something goes right or wrong, it's still on you. And that's something up as I was growing up. I mean, just constantly, don't blame others. Look at yourself before you blame others. And I've tried, and having an Asian mother, oh man, they're very strict on stuff like that. So, it's, I try, Khenpo, I try.
Okay. Linda, please.
What, read the next one?
Oh, you just shared that talk about.
Oh, I have the craziest thoughts about quote number 13. I always think about politics.
Number 13? Oh.
Yeah. And I don't have success applying it in my own life. It's a struggle.
When you politics problem, you have issues like then you think about these words.
Yeah, because, it's always like thinking if I were in charge of the world, it would go like this. And then I'm not in charge of the world. That would be like trying to cover the earth with leather, Yes. So, yeah.
That's good. Okay. So, Amanda.
Well, I was thinking, I remember Garchen Rinpoche saying that bodhisattvas, this is paraphrasing, that to be a great bodhisattva, you must love and be patient with all beings like a mother is for her only child. So I think I am most patient with my son, more patient than I am with anyone. So I really forget to do this most of the time, but when I remember, I think, sorry for the traffic noise, I think, okay, I'm feeling impatient right now, so I will be patient like I am with my son, with my 4-year-old, and it usually helps when I remember.
Okay, that's good. So Debe, two Debes, either one is okay. Who is come first?
Go ahead, Deb from Virginia.
Right, I know. I'm just trying to think about how to say this. I think that, you know, because it's such a tactile, it's you know, it's something that you feel. You think about, you know, covering leather on your feet or that, and it to me, it's also like you're creating a layer of separation between you and the world. So in a certain way, like you're not changing the world the way it is, and there's nothing you can do about it. But it also means that you have to be aware of that. That is a good reminder that the world seems very real, but you also need to be separated a little bit.
Mm.
And that just, it's just how I think.
Okay, great. And Debe,
Oh, I think this is the greatest quote, and I only have the greatest aspiration that I could even put on one shoe to walk around. This is not easy to do, you know, for me anyway. You know, I mean, it's easy to think about. I love it. It's a part of my heart, but to actually practice it on a regular basis, that's really wow. I aspire every day just to do one action that follows this.
maybe yeah.
We're still talking about covering the earth with leather, right? Well, to me, it seems kind of like bubble wrap, like how we would say now, like trying to bubble wrap your environment, you know, but you can't really do that. So you can, if you're walking on the earth with bare feet, it can hurt, but you can't really cover the earth in leather. So I feel like you put some leather on shoes on and you're okay. So I think it's kind of saying like, you got to take a couple blows once in a while. You have to toughen up. You have to make your own leather on yourself, because you can't bubble wrap the world. You can't cover the world in leather. You have to create your own leather.
Great. So then, Tom Wazer.
Let's see. Well, nothing really new, but maybe we're heading in the direction we're thinking that it says, but wearing leather just on the soles of the shoes is an analogy for wearing wisdom or applying wisdom instead of trying to solve the problem by changing the object or.
Yes. That's it. That's great. Yes. Yes.
I didn't think of it.
Yeah, when you think these words, like this, when you have like something problems, like of course, like you doesn't like you no successful, you cannot change. You can release that problem in your mind. you recognize you cannot change the object everything. Yeah, object is controlless, right? So we have to change our mind, let go. That's good. So then we go to the next one. 14. Sylvia, can you read the 14? Sylvia?
Yes. Likewise, it is not possible for me to restrain the external course of things, but should I restrain this mind of mine, what would be the need to restrain all else?
Yeah, can you explain?
I think it's basically reminding us again, like all the other verses, that the mind is the most important thing that we have control over. If we can control our mind, we, that's the distinction between samsara and nirvana.
Yes. Okay, great. So anyone has any comments? So the main point is we have to control the mind. If control the mind, then other objects, actually we cannot control the object. We cannot control other beings, other people, situations. We cannot control them. So we cannot change that. Just subdue our mind, control the mind, is everything's become perfect.
But Khenpo,
Yes, sir.
we interact, we have relationship with other beings. And if we change our minds and become a person that is free from anger and generous, and we understand that we don't expect a result from that directly, but you do, you can plant the seed of things that will take people to nirvana instead of to samsara. I mean, it's not that I want to change everybody, but you definitely can impact other people with your behavior and how you do things. So, I mean, the fact that you cannot change everybody doesn't, when you interact with them in your worldly activities that we don't do.
Other beings.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bodhisattva's actions benefit others, impact for other beings too.
Yeah.
But some situations, like they cannot everything control the samsara. So they cannot fix the samsara. Then they said they fix our mind, don't fix the samsara. No one can fix the samsara. So that means that you cannot benefit others. That you can benefit others, but you really cannot fix all samsara perfectly.
No, not at all. But you know, in
samsara, the Bodhisattvas cannot fix that. They cannot make not terrible this world, but they can fix some individually if they have connections.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just because what I do, I work with children, you know, and when you work with children every day and for many years, you understand that it's really difficult to make an impact that is positive on children if you're not a positive and clean person. Because they read through you, you know, they know if you're just, excuse me, bullshitting them. You know, you have to be very, you know, you have to think that you are a good person and you have to be a good person. If not, it doesn't really goes. It doesn't really. The message doesn't get to them. So. And you do, then that's why, I mean, you know, you that's the leather you're wearing really can affect other people, because I apply that in my daily life when I go with the children, because you have to be really true in your communication with them if you really want to create make it positive change in them and help them become wholesome sentient beings, more that are going to help other people then also. So yeah, I mean, it's the leather you wear. I think it's not going to change samsara, but it can affect the people that are around you.
Yeah, that's the Bodhisattvas affected other beings too. Yes. So of course, like someone is angry, they affected the who is there, and that is the mind is powerful and affected others, harmful others, and your mind is peace and calm, and that's also effective for others too. So that this is like I'm going to help these people, I'm going to fix these people, then not possible, right? Yeah, so this is like just same thing here. It's like you're saying, as long as your mind is fixed, then you can affect others. If your mind is not fixed, you cannot change anyone. Okay, so now we go to 14. Tron Vajani, can you chant 14? Yeah, 14.
Likewise, it is not possible for me to restrain the external course of things, but should I restrain this mind of mine, what would be the need to restrain all else?
So it's 15. It's
15?
Yeah.
Okay. Although the development of merely a clear state of concentration can result in taking birth in Brahma's realm, physical and vocal actions cannot result when accompanied by weak mental conduct.
Can you explain?
You have to walk the talk as well. I think yeah, you just have to be genuine, not just in a state of concentration is great.
Okay, so this which one is the perfection? Which perfection?
Oh, I'm not really sure.
So who knows which perfection this one?
Joyful effort.
Meditation.
Okay, joyful effort.
Oh, joyful effort.
So words is similar is meditation, but actually home is also joyful effort. Okay, so then Thomas, can you explain why joyful effort? Why is joyful effort?
You must practice with effort and meditation. The mind is needed to put forth effort, meditation, and result. Reborn the highest realm. The body and speech cannot fix, but your mind can. So the joyful effort that we put forth is through effort and meditation. That you were stressing when you were talking about number 15. That you're the story that you had told about conduct, about or how our body and our speech can be one thing, but if our mind is not pure, if it's not where it should be, it doesn't really matter. Because if we can if we act like we matter, and if we speak like we do, but if we don't think it, doesn't matter.
Okay, so then, Amanda, can you explain?
I think you were saying that the main point is that our mind has the potential for great positive power, and if we can keep our mind in the present moment and keep our breath and our mind with our breath and our body, and we can stay in the Buddha nature, in the nature of mind, then that you can only do that if you put joyful effort into your meditation. So strive for that effort. And then the mind is more powerful than the body and speech, because the body and speech follow the mind.
Then anyone has a comment? Everyone understand, right? Yes. You all did.
Yeah, I had something to say. I'm beginning to wonder whether I'm interpreting this stuff right or not. Because what I say, what I got out of this was, if you strengthen your mind, your physical and verb, your actions will be strengthened accordingly. So the more you strengthen your mind, the more strength that you have, both vocally and physically.
Okay. So
is that wrong?
Yeah, it's not wrong. It's always you're just saying like just different ways to explain, you know. And the main point is here is that although the development of a mainly a clear state of concentration, which gets meditated 1 second correctly, the result is taking birth in a Burma's REM, means like that short-term meditation takes you higher level REM. And physical and focal actions cannot to so result, like you do something physically, body and speech, no, like that kind of result. That reason, so when so we have to put effort of mind. If your mind is awake, then no result. So your mind must be strong and put effort. You put effort, put in the meditation, then result is powerful. So you all did good. Okay, so now we go to the next one. Curtis, please.
Which one do you want exactly?
Next.
What number is that, folks?
You have to recognize which number.
16.
Okay, I'll make sure.
Even the number, Mary, his mind is if there or no, we have to check in.
I've got friends who can bail me out. 16. The Knower of Reality has said that even if recitation and physical hardships are practiced for long periods of time, they will be meaningless if the mind is distracted elsewhere. I think it's fairly straightforward. Speech and body practice will not in itself tame the mind. And if the mind is not tamed, it doesn't do any good.
So what is part of that perfection?
I'm sorry?
Which perfection?
Concentration.
Okay.
Meditation.
Okay. So anyone has a comments? Anyone wanted to explain? Thomas, you want?
Not so much. I mean, Curtis did a great job explaining, but I just wanted to share something. This morning when I got up to do my practice, I was very tired. I felt, oh wow, it's like I practice and I practice. It seems like, sometimes there are good days and there are bad days. And when you read this, number 16, distracted mind, it really, really felt heavy on my heart. I felt, wow, this is probably the reason why sometimes when I practice, it just seems like it's just words coming out. And I do it again, and I do it again, I do it again. But really, when you start explaining it, and I mean, I've heard it many times, but it just, today it felt very, very deep.
You're welcome. Okay, so now here says like they will be meaningless if the mind is distracted elsewhere. So if you do body, speech, mind is not there, mind is distracted, meaningless 100% or not?
No, you'll still have a favorable rebirth because you're doing the action, but
yes.
I
So
wanted to.
why is it meaningless?
You're breaking up, Khenpo. What's that?
Why is it meaningless?
It's
Why?
meaningless because it's not going to awaken you. It's
Okay.
going to put you in a favorable rebirth, but not awaken you. That's what we do every day. These practices to awaken us.
Yeah. Okay, so that's so even if your mind is distracted and going somewhere, mind have thoughts, you're doing some body, speech, practicing, that cannot awaken your mind, cannot be take to the Buddhahood. But of course, there always has anyway, body, speech also have some result, going to reborn to the higher realms too. Okay, so now next, 17, Amanda, please.
Even those who wish to find happiness and overcome misery will wander with no aim nor meaning if they do not comprehend the secret of the mind, the paramount significance of Dharma. So this is in the wisdom section, the perfection of wisdom. And if we want to become happy and free from suffering, we have to practice wisdom. And whatever we do without wisdom will always be stuck in samsara. And we must recognize our mind nature. And then that is the highest level of practicing Dharma. And you told us that what that means is to practice the Yedam Deity and Guru Yoga and Mahamudra. And especially if you don't practice Mahamudra, you can't accomplish this. And then mind is present, clear, empty awareness, free from emotions, free from thoughts, clear and vivid. That's the secret of the mind. And if you realize that or this, then you overcome misery and you can find the highest level of happiness. So we must practice our own mind, not the object. And Buddha has perfected that.
Thank you. Okay, so whatever this
I think I write down every word.
every word.
Now I just have to put them in my mind.
That's good. So that is a perfection of wisdom. Shantideva here says, if they do not comprehend the secret of the mind, secret of mind is the natural mind, right? Okay, Mahamudra. Anyone has any comments to that? Okay, then we go to next one. Evia.
$18, right?
Yes.
This being so, I shall hold and guard my mind well. Without the discipline of guarding the mind, what use are many other disciplines? It's a good point. I don't know, it seems pretty self-explanatory. You're resting your awareness in your mind and trying to, you learn all the different techniques for having, control of it and not being, dragged into emotions or other beings and creating other beings' emotions and creating, positivity as much as possible. But you have to guard it and pay attention to it. You have to be alert and aware of it because it's so easy to just lose that and be overtaken. And it happens very fast too, especially if somebody else gets upset, easily.
Yes. Okay, anyone has the comments? Most important the word, this one too. Lots the David says is famous. This also famous too. This quote is famous 18 is.
Khenpo,
Yes, sir.
Just a question regarding, the 17 and 18. To be alert in your mind, I mean that, and connect your mind with your speech, to control your speech and your body. I mean that you have to be alert, not only in your meditation, also try to be alert in all your actions during the day, to avoid the mind to go away. What I understand that you have to try to maintain
Yes.
alert
Yes.
the best you can.
Yes.
To maintain that connection and don't let your mind go away and then everything else start to get crazy.
So that's 13 is the main point. The Shantideva said we practice means have to practice our mind. The subdued or the negativity enter into the practice of Dharma. So it is in the mind, practice in the mind. Virtuous this practice is in the mind. So that is this called main point. Is the Tibet is called Tor, means subdued. Shok means into, enter into. So Tor is the negativity, subdued. Shok means mind into the virtuous. So that is the practice. Okay, so now it's a code 9. You're welcome. Code 19. Lily, please, can you chant the 19?
Okay. Just as I would be alternatively and careful of a would when amidst a blustering, uncontrolled crowd. So I should always guard the wood of my mind when dwelling among harmful people. This is to say that just like it's a analog. It's like people they will protect themselves, protect their wood from being touched or in a cloud, and we should do the same to protect our mind, because the mind is always play wild. It's very hard to control. You give the two example that Milarepa got mind, even he looks like a bad, he lives in like a bad life, but he got his mind very well. And also at that time, mind mind is very hard to control. Even our body sleeps and it's still playing, it's dreaming. We should use, you said, use the sharp alertness to even as if we are in the danger. So no matter where we are in the temple or at home, we should always be alert to what our mind, where our mind is, protect our mind. And that's very important. And when we practice, the percentage of mindfulness we have is very very low, very small. So our the purpose of our practice is really to be mindfulness.
Okay. Thank you. So anyone has any comments?
I have a comment.
Yes.
The analogy is using a wound, which is the body, a pain in the body. And this could be helpful, that he's also comparing the mind to a wound. So I'm going to take liberties and say that the mind is subtle matter. So the mind is made of a subtle form like the body. So that could be helpful for some people that see it like that, to guard it as a thing, not so much as themselves. Just like you're not your body, you can get hurt. Anyway, you see where I'm going with it, I'm sure.
So yeah, this just think about coronavirus. So you going into the people public, is no one wear masks, and you really careful, right? Everyone careful, because it's get virus. So then need a mindful, right? Mindful. So that is the same as the alertness. Alertness comes like that way. We scared something, then you have alertness. You wanted to protect yourself. So you really care for these people has disease. They give you mindful alertness. So same as we go to danger place, right? Danger. It's easy. That's actually long as we have something danger arise, and then you have alertness and mindful. Okay, so now next one.
Khenpo, I have a question on this. Does the bodhicitta, when we develop bodhicitta, will that help to cultivate mindfulness?
Bodhicitta always has mindful, yes. Bodhisattva.
No, like when we do when we have some meditation on bodhicitta, developing bodhicitta, right?
Yes.
And with that kind of practice, will that help to improve our mindfulness? Because I feel that the mindfulness is very difficult. It's the distractions, the power of distraction is so strong, and sometimes when you sit there like an hour, how many minutes that is really, can counting to. So this worries me a lot. It's like I spend time in it and I don't really get what I'm expected. So how to increase your mindfulness?
How to increase in mindfulness? This all the practice. This Shantideva just giving us instructions. This all create a mindful awareness.
Okay.
All these teachings, is like how to create mindful and awareness. Especially this words is like he giving mindful, how to create mindful and awareness. Recognize something problem, then you really care yourself. Yes.
Okay, yeah, I can feel the power on that, and so that's it's helpful. Okay, when I had this question, it's like when we develop bodhicitta, that feeling getting stronger and stronger. Bodhicitta, that at that time our mindfulness will increase. I mean, that will increase at the same time as the
Yes. Yeah, of course, like bodhicitta, there's 6 parameters as bodhicitta. Actually, this all practice is bodhicitta. Engaging bodhicitta, action bodhicitta. Is generosity, morality, conduct, everything. Perfections. Okay, so now then next.
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. David Connor, can you read the 20? So 20 and 19 is very similar and goes together. So then we can more discussion, Lily.
Okay. And if I am careful of a wound through fear of it being slightly hurt, then why do I not guard the wound of my mind through fear of being crushed by the mountains of hell? And the thing that I love that you said about this is we care about the small things. So this is a temporary body, and if you have a temporary injury, you spend, all this care. You take all this care to protect your body, and it's a temporary thing. However, if we're just letting our mind run and doing whatever we feel like, the worst possible consequences are a bad rebirth, and that will take lifetimes to fix. So we should definitely focus more, again, treat your mind as a wound, which is interesting because I don't think I've ever seen that analogy before, that your mind it's like it's damaged. You're protecting it because it's damaged. And we should be thinking about that the future suffering is something that, because it's not around us right now, we're not seeing how we day after day after day can contribute to this very bad outcome.
Yes.
That's what I got.
Thank you, David. So anyone has comments? So the main point is like all this chapter is awareness practice, mindful awareness practice. So Lily, like you say, how can we create mindful awareness? This whole chapter is chapter 5. So like Shantideva, giving us suggestion how to like instructions how to create awareness and mindful. Yes. So anyone? Or it's okay, right? Everyone okay, I think. It's not that hard, just simple practice, of course, are harder. Words is not that hard, it's easy. And result also comes from your mind. Not result is arise in the object. You cut through your mind, result also arise in the mind. So that is the main point of today's teaching. Okay, so then we finish here. Yeah?
I have a question. Can I ask a question? In 800 feet, keep right. Follow signs for I-480 West, Ohio 14 West.
Please keep drive safely. You can question next time better.
Well, it's okay because I'm at a stop here. Well, I just wondered, what do we do about pride? Like sometimes I think like, oh, all these people were yelling at me and I didn't get mad. Oh, I'm so good now. So what do I do about that?
That is a positive pride. That's great.
Okay.
That's what we need. If you're happy that, then you make yourself happy.
Okay.
Good. The people yelled at me, I didn't angry, so I'm great. Yeah. That's already told. You know, we subdue the negativity, use positivity. Yeah, we already talked that.
Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that's good. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Keep positive, everyone. Subdue the negativity. That's first beginners. Okay, then see you tomorrow. We're going to do the prayer. Prayer. KZC Liza, right? KZS Liza Lovers. Can you chant the prayer?
Are you sharing it, Raul, or should I? I can share it. Sorry.
Who's sharing?
Me.
Okay.
Just...
Liza Lovers, can you hear?
I can.
Okay, so.
Okay.
So your name is K. Jinpinto, right? K. Jinpinto?
Yes.
Okay.
Amoho. In the center is the marvelous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion, and on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful pure land of Devachan. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face by the power of the blessings of the Buddha and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions. May we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Teyata Panchadriya Awa Buddha Naya Soha. By this virtue may I achieve, to go back up a little bit, right? Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind, where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion, may all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the oceans of samsara. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samattabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the great Dukumpa Ratnasri, who is omniscient Lord of the Dhamma, mastery of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
I'm muted. Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you, Khenpo. See you tomorrow.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you. Bye. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Tomorrow, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Oh,
Yes.